You are listening to the Becoming the Wealthy You podcast with Jermaine Foley. If you're a woman who makes good money in your career or business, but you're not building wealth like you want to, then you're in the right place. In this podcast, you'll learn how to stop overspending, break free from the cycle of debt, save lots of cash, and become the wealthy woman you were born to be. Let's dive in. Welcome to the podcast, Dafina. How are you today?
I'm doing really well. Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. I am so excited about this conversation. So everyone, I have Dafina Allen on. She is one of my clients, and she's just going to talk to you all about her story and her journey and what it was like to work with me. So Dafina, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Yes, so thanks again for having me on. So like Jermaine mentioned, I am one of Jermaine's clients, and I am a board certified family medicine and obesity medicine physician. And I am super passionate about nutrition and fitness and, keeping your most healthy lifestyle. And I actually knew Jermaine from an organization, and she was always kind of putting in little tidbits about financial, and a couple other people had mentioned that she has a business. And a couple times I remember I heard her and one of our other friends talking about investments, and I was like, man, I wish I knew a little bit more about finances. And my husband and I are both, like I mentioned, my husband is also a physician, and after medical school, after residency, where we just were more dealing with month to month debt, as well as, making a small amount of money, we became attendings, and we did not know what to do with the amount of paychecks that we were getting. We knew we had a lot of debt to pay off, but then we also wanted to enjoy ourselves. And so I kept on thinking, I should probably talk to Jermaine. I should probably talk to Jermaine. Oh, no, no, I can do it. And then I finally was like, you know what? Let me talk to Jermaine and try to see how she could help us get our finances in order.
Awesome. Okay, because I remember you were like, I just kept trying to do it on my own, and then I just decided to reach out. I know that is what a lot of people think. And I do think that we can do it on our own, but sometimes that is the long way. That's the arduous way. That's the way that we, go on. Kind of like think about your patients that you see, right? They try to lose weight on their own, and maybe they do, make some progress, but then they revert back, and then they make more progress and they revert back. And then finally they're like, okay, let me talk to Dafina. It's kind of like the same thing, right?
Absolutely. That was one of the funniest things about it is the fact that patients are always saying that to me. I think I might work with you, but let me try a little bit more. Or I think I might consider anti-obesity medication, but let me try on my own. Or I might, and I do feel, and I actually give patients that analogy. This is like working with a financial advisor when they work with me. And it's so funny that I was that I did not see that in my own life, but that's how life goes, right? We don't see things
Yes.
sometimes in our own lives.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just to clarify, I know you work with a financial advisor as well, but I am not a financial advisor. I'm a financial coach. So what I do, as you all know, in case someone's new to the podcast, I help people manage their money, manage and grow their money. So a lot of times when people come to me, they are making good money, but they're not building wealth. And it could be due to overspending, not having a strategy to save, or not feeling like they didn't or don't have the necessary discipline or control to save. So just to make sure everyone knows that piece. Awesome. So what were some of the biggest financial challenges you faced before seeking coaching?
So one of the biggest financial challenges I faced was I love shopping. I love boutiques specifically. I love
Yes.
shopping. And I also really wanted, me and my husband, we really wanted to grow our wealth. We wanted to have a better plan for our kids' college funds. We wanted to start investing, and we just did not know how.
Yes. Okay. I totally get that. And I can so relate to the shopping. And we talked a lot about that. And before we actually started recording today, you were talking about how that's one of the things that you were really able to kind of get under control in a good way, though, not like you were depriving yourself or anything like that. But we talked about a lot when we were coaching, we talked about how sometimes we use shopping as a way to kind of indulge in like retail therapy when we're stressed and you have a high profile job, you have two little kids, you're married, you have a lot going on. And sometimes shopping is just a way to just relax, right?
Yes, absolutely. I had this mentality that I've worked so hard, and my family, as well as my husband's family, we came from like working class families where thank God we had enough. It was not a lot of extra. And so when you're in medical school, the picture is painted for you that you're just going to make so much money. You're going to have so much money. And don't even worry. You can even build up some debt in med school because you're going to have so much money. And then when, we became attendings, we were like, okay, thank God we are making so much money, but we have so much debt and we don't have a plan for our kids that, if when they're ready to go to college and if something were to happen. So we were trying to figure out how can we balance that.
Yes. And you know, my motto is you can build wealth and enjoy life at the same time. And so one of the first things we did when we started working together was we figured out what was most important to you guys. And I remember travel being at the top of the list.
Absolutely. So my husband loves to travel and I really enjoy it too. My family is in Florida. We have a lot of very close friends that live in different parts of the country. And we like to attend different medical conferences and we already were traveling a lot and we wanted to be able to continue that. And so one of the best things that happened for our finances was Jermaine encouraging us to start a travel account because we already were traveling. We already knew that we had plans and we just did not know how to keep track of that spending. So now when we have a trip coming up, when we want to shoot down to Detroit to visit friends, whatever is happening, we have a separate account that we put money aside into where we're able to travel and have a nice time, but not have to worry about where is this money going to come from and how are we going to budget this money.
Yes. And I am a big fan of figuring out like what's most important to you and understanding that any and everything can't be important, right? You have to figure out what it is because as human beings we have just a few things that are really important for you guys. It was really travel, and we found out that shopping is important to you as well, but we just had to figure out a way for you to do it in a way that, again, didn't cause you guys to stress about money or to have any financial consequences. So, can you talk about what we did so that you could shop spontaneously sometimes if you wanted to?
Well, one of the things you did was you had me go through these modules that talked about the urges that we have and how retail therapy, how that works in our brain, which is so funny because I was able to apply it immediately because I talk to my patients about that all the time with emotional eating and with eating when we're stressed or sad. And it really is so similar. So with shopping, you coached me on. So the modules that I learned about talked a lot about why we spend like just frivolously. And you also even had me go into a few of my favorite stores and practice like, how do I not just grab something just to, buy it? Practice doing that. Even if you have it in your account, learning how to not just grab and not just grab and teaching yourself about the urges. So that was one of the things. And then the other thing was because I talked to you how I really like to online shop, especially after a stressful day. I just like to get on there and just buy different things that sometimes I would want later, and sometimes I was like, I really didn't need this. And so you even gave me a tool where I would wait 24 hours. So there's
Yes.
something that I see, yeah. So there's something I saw online that I really wanted. So instead of just purchasing and thinking about later if that was a good purchase, I would wait 24 hours. And And I still do that sometimes. If the 24 hours, I'm like, yes, that 24 hours is over, so I can buy it.
I
And
remember
other
one
times,
time you were a little you weren't mad at me, but you were like, Jermaine, I waited 24 hours and I went back and it was gone.
yes. And the funny thing about that, sometimes that's a good thing.
Yes. And I was like, well, sometimes you might want to go 48. So for me, I have decided I need 48 because sometimes it takes me that long to cool off, especially if it's something really, really cute. And so I've since expanded it to, 24 to 48 hours, depending on the person. So just keep that in mind.
Yes. Okay. I will absolutely keep that in mind. And another thing that it has helped me is when we talked about, okay, so what is one of the things I really enjoy? I love going into like cute little stores when I'm traveling and finding items that I would normally find somewhere else. And so if I know I'm going out of town next weekend, I'm not going to shop online right now because I'm like, I know next weekend I'm going to go into a few stores. So I'm going to save the money I put aside to, go in those stores when I travel instead of just shopping online right now. It's kind of, I can put that aside because I can still enjoy myself, but not in a way where it's just irresponsible.
Yes. And this is because not that we're like trying to be strict with ourselves, it's because she now knows what's most important to her. What's most important to her is having a college fund for her kids. It's building generational wealth. It's to start a business one day, right? So with those goals, those financial goals as her guiding light, then it's important to inform your spending so that you can do those big things that you really want to do. And so we had her come up with not only the travel account, but also I'm a big fan of people having just discretionary spending money. I call it planned spontaneity spending money, where you set aside a certain amount and that amount is yours to spend however you want. So you can still be spontaneous, but you're doing it within guardrails. So that's what Dafina is talking about. And you mentioned modules. So Dafina is talking about the Wealthy Woman's Academy, which is an online course. It's kind of like Netflix for your money, where you can go on any time of the day and listen to the different lessons that I've created to help you really with any area of your money. So Dafina's talking about the modules on spending and overspending. So just in case you all were curious about that, she's talking about the Wealthy Woman's Academy, and you all are welcome to join it. All you have to do is go to jermainefoley.com/WWA or to the show notes to grab your spot. Okay, so can you share some of the significant milestones you've reached since working together?
Yes. So one of the really cool milestones that we reached is Chris and we opened up our first mutual fund. So that's something that we had always wanted to do and to learn how that works. And Jermaine explained how mutual funds worked. And we always thought, oh my gosh, investing is risky. And we don't know, we didn't understand it. We thought it's risky. And so to be able to put some money aside and watch it grow has been very exciting. Actually, it's been 1 year since we opened one, and we're like, look at how much we already made on that. It's just sitting
Yes.
there making money. So
Money
that was a
that you're
really
not
exciting
working
one.
for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was very exciting for us.
Awesome. Awesome. And you guys did something else that's really, really big.
Our business or my two sisters?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So my husband, he went independent in the past 3 months. And so he was working for a healthcare company and he just went independent. And when he went independent, I already had my own medical weight loss practice. So we opened up our practice together. So we were able
Yes.
to buy a medical building. We were able to hire a staff. We were able to do some remodeling, and now we have our own space for our family, and that we can, one day maybe rent out to someone else when we retire. So that was really exciting for us.
Yes. So cool. I was able to go to the open house. The building is so nice. I'm so happy for you all.
Thank you.
Yes, you are so welcome. Okay, I just have a couple more questions. Were there any like challenges or setbacks you encountered along the way?
Oh my goodness, a lot. One of them, and honestly, I still work through them, and I love the way it really helped me just like planted these seeds that like I can pull from. Like I might have not even realized it then, and then a couple weeks ago I pulled from it. But part of it was just a roadblock in my brain that we have so much debt. With Chris and I both having medical school debt, it was too big. One of the roadblocks is I just kept thinking, it's too big. We have a great income, but it's not even going to touch what we owe. And so it's too big to actually make moves to be able to start putting money, to be able to start paying it down. And Jermaine, you really helped me with that mindset that, you can save now, you can pay down debt now. It's never too big to start working on it.
Yes. And I remember one conversation we had. I think this was more around maybe investing for the kids' college because your kids are younger. And I remember the thought process, we have time, right? We have time, we'll get to
Yes.
it. And
Yes.
just little sneaky thoughts like we have time or it's too big. I mean, think about that. Those are tiny sentences that we have running in the back of our brains that could be literally preventing us from building the wealth that we desire. And that is one of my favorite things as a coach to point out to people and to help them dismantle. And it just opens the floodgate for progress after that. So I'm so glad you brought that up because sometimes it's just that little phrase, that little sentence, and it's causing us to not live out our full potential and not reach the goals that we so desire to have.
Yes, absolutely. And I just have to keep saying it's so, so similar to what I do in my practice. And I think that was another way where I was able to apply it so well because I just was not approaching money the way that I try it, the way that I'm able to approach health. They have so many similarities.
Absolutely. And we don't see our own thoughts. It's so weird. Like I have to have my own coach point out even though I'm a coach, I have to have another coach talk to me and coach me and point out my limiting thoughts. So I know it sounds like, well, I can just figure out what my limiting beliefs are, but we can't see our own stuff. It's so interesting. And it's almost the same as like Dafina would never be her own doctor, right? She needs someone else to be her doctor, even though she's a doctor. Am I right?
Absolutely right. You are so correct. And I
Yes.
love that. One of the things that was really cool about working with you with your program was that you're a coach. And so with the life coaching you also did within our financial coaching really made a difference because it's all connected in terms of our thought processes around our finances. And if without a healthy mindset towards your life or towards certain challenges you have, it's hard to save or invest or budget.
Absolutely. Because if things are going, south or you're just having some conflict in your personal life, that spills over to your money a lot of times. So I love the fact that I've been able to bring the life coaching and the money coaching together because money is so much more complicated than just math. It's so, psychological. There's so much brain drama and mind drama that affects how we handle our money. So, yes, this was so, so good. I just want to round it out with what advice would you give to individuals or families who are considering hiring their own financial coach? And if they're like on the fence or if they're just unsure if it's right for them.
Well, I just want people to remember that we have to invest in ourselves. And so working with your program, working with a financial coach has helped. I put an investment towards something that gave me so much return. So it's never a bad idea to consider working with someone that is going to improve your return.
Yes. And not just that first year, because if you join the Wealthy Women's Academy, we're working together for a year. But what you learn in that year, you'll be able to use year after year and the compounding returns that'll keep coming to you and keep coming to you. It's off the charts. So to Davina's point, investing in yourself, in your brain, in your skills, that is one of the best investments you could ever make is investing in yourself. So, Dafina, you've alluded to the fact that you have your own weight loss practice. Can you tell us more in case someone is interested in working with you? Tell us if you work with people virtually or if it's just people locally. Just tell us all the things.
Yes. So my practice, Wise Weight Management, it's a medical weight loss practice, and our big, big focus is a personalized, comprehensive weight loss plan. So we work with all shapes and sizes, all weights, all ages, all everyone on goals to improve your health. And we don't focus on the number on the scale. We focus on your health. We focus on improving your blood pressure, on for you to be able to run around more with your kids. We focus on inches on your waist, losing body fat. And it's personalized because different things work for different people when it comes to weight loss. And honestly, I'm a cheerleader for my patients. My patients are so amazing because all of us want to live a healthy lifestyle. Another really cool thing is my big passion is working with busy moms. So I have a
Mm,
huge variety of patients, but busy moms, how do we apply a healthy lifestyle when we're managing all these other lives? So
yes.
I love doing that. And I do have an office in Saginaw, Michigan, and I have lots of different options, meal plans, protein shakes, a special body composition scale that will measure your fat and your muscle and give you better goals. But I also work virtually. I can do health coaching all over the country. It's really going to be working with you and your lifestyle and the needs that you have. So that's what helps us stand out is a very personalized program for people.
Awesome. Okay, so where can people learn more about you or connect with you? Do you have a website, Instagram? I know you're very active on Instagram.
Absolutely. So, wiseweightmd.com is where you can learn more about our practice. And also, yep, I am on Instagram, Wise Weight Management, also on YouTube. And I'm always giving lots of tips and tools about how we can apply exercise and stress management and sleep and all the things that are important for health.
Awesome. And I will make sure to link all of your information in the show notes so that if people want to connect with you, which I highly recommend they do, they can just go to the show notes and reach out and learn more. Awesome. Anything else you want to say before we go?
I just want to say thank you so much for having me on this show. It's really nice to be able to even come back to some of the tools that you gave me. And it's nice because life is not perfect. I am not perfect with my finances, but I'm just so grateful that now I have plans and now I have like tools to be able to apply to my finances, which is so exciting.
Awesome. And yes, and that's one of the things that I talk about a lot. It's like we're not trying to be perfect with our money. We are just wanting to make progress and we embrace the B plus mindset. We're not trying to get the A pluses. You know what? A B plus will do versus not even trying at all. So I appreciate you sharing that. And I will see you soon, Dafina, and I will talk to you all later. Bye bye. Wait, before you go, have you checked out my free class? It's all about the steps you need to take if you want to build wealth without going on a strict budget. To sign up, simply go to jermainfoley.com/wealth class. That's Jermaine with a G, foley.com/wealth class. See you in there.